What is going on, beautiful, sexy, amazing people all across the world? Welcome back to another video here on Team Acne. Now, have you guys ever noticed that you get a bigger breakout when you eat a certain type of food? Maybe you're out partying with friends on the weekends, you eat pizza, maybe you drink alcohol, something like that, and you always notice a breakout happens after that. Have you ever noticed that? Well, for me, I used to have super bad acne. If you don't know me already, my name is Brian Turner. I started getting acne at 15. It got worse and worse and worse until I had cystic acne all over my face. And a lot of times there were certain things I would notice would trigger it more, like stress and food and all sorts of things. So today, I thought it'd be really fun. I thought about it. I really went through my diet back when my acne was at its worst, and I came up with the 10 worst foods for my acne. So let's dive right on into it. Okay, here's number one, and of course, this isn't the same for everybody. This is just the 10 that I noticed always broke me out. Number one is pizza. I think you probably already saw that coming, but like I said, out with your friends, partying, someone gets that $5 pizza, gets like 40 of them, and you just have as much as you want. Definitely would always cause me acne. There's a lot of dairy on there, a lot of cheese on pizzas, but also it's super high in fat. And those are two things that we have seen in science actually do cause acne, is dairy and high fat things. So that increases the amount of oil your face, your sebum glands produce, which means if you're predisposed to acne, you get more acne. And Brian was getting more acne. Okay, number two, if you've been following me for a long time, you were waiting for this one. It's milk. I used to have so much milk. I used to have a gallon, yes, that's correct, a gallon of milk every single day. I was trying to gain weight back when I was a little dude, and that was one of the things that was on the internet, a diet called the gallon of milk a day diet. I know it sounds insane, but I was having a gallon every single day. Dairy is another thing that we've seen in science increases acne. It is something that I consumed a huge amount of, obviously the gallon of milk there, but I also had a lot of other dairy sources. And for me, that was specifically causing my cystic acne. All the other kind of acne, you know, pimples, blackheads, all that kind of stuff, it didn't really matter about dairy. If I was off dairy, I would still get those, but the cysts would always come from dairy. Have you guys ever noticed this? Okay, number three is fried chicken. That sounds kind of weird. If you follow me now, you know I've been plant-based vegan for about 5, maybe 6 years. But back then, back when my acne was at its worst, I was not, and I was having, you know, like KFC, or like at my grocery store, they would have like the little deli area and they would have fried chicken, and I'd get it every couple of weeks. Definitely would always notice pimples popping up the next few days. And these, because I think it was probably because the fats, the amount of fat that's in there, these were more of those pinprick, like red and whitehead, little tiny pimples. So it's interesting that different foods was causing different types of acne. Again, have you guys noticed that there's different types that you get from different foods? Okay, so number 4 is candy. And for me, I really like sour candy. I like Sour Belts and Sour Patch Kids and Warheads, anything sour. My mouth is already watering right now. I love candy. Back when I was about 17, 18, I would eat candy as like a pre-workout and a post-workout. I know that sounds weird. It was a trend going out on the internet, and I always tried things. So I was eating a decent amount of candy every single day, and I noticed I started getting more acne. So that's something that I noticed and then was like, all right, I like candy, but that's not that important to me, so I took it out. High sugar is something that also scientifically we've proven has an impact on our acne and increases the amount of oil we produce. Number 5 is ice cream. Oh man, I love ice cream so much. Chocolate mint is my favorite flavor, I think. And then something salted caramel. Anything salted caramel next. So good. But ice cream was something that I would eat on like my cheat days. Because I was really into fitness, I still am. I would be pretty on top of my diet at certain points, and then other points when I was like bulking and eating a lot of calories, I would be a little bit more loose. And when I was a little bit more loose, I would have ice cream on my cheat days, or I would have diet ice cream, which is like low calorie ice cream. Either way, it would cause me acne. Now, when it was regular ice cream, of course, I would say the dairy, but a lot of times I would get plant-based ice cream and it would still cause me acne. And of course, that's just because there's so much fat and so much sugar. So that was another one for me, is ice cream. Number 6 is protein bars, and this kind of ties in with milk. I was having tons of protein powders and protein bars, just trying to get extra protein in, and these were all whey protein based, which is dairy, and that was always something that caused acne. I actually remember doing an experiment one time where I had gotten my face clear because I had I'd done a lot of things, but one of the things I had done is taking dairy out entirely, right? And so then I was like, okay, my face is clear. Maybe I can start putting a little bit of them protein bars back because they're so convenient and easy and yummy. And I used to eat Quest bars. So I started putting Quest bars back in, and in literally 36 to 48 hours, about 2 days after I would have literally one Quest bar, I would have a cyst. And I could feel that, that pressure pop up, but you can't see it yet, but it's about to be huge. And then the next day it would just be big and red, and the next day it would have a big white head. And this happened multiple times without fail. And so for me, I was like, I cannot have protein bars anymore. As convenient as they are, as much as I love them, they just don't mix well with me. Okay, number 7, one of my favorite, I guess, junk food, weekend foods, potato skins. I don't know if you guys have ever had the, thank God it's Friday, TGIF potato skins, but they're so good. And whether that was like at restaurants or for my case, I would get them frozen and cook them in the oven, but oh my gosh, they were so good. But unfortunately they have tons of fat in them because it is literally just like a potato, shovel filled with cheese and bacon. And so there was a lot of fat in there. And that's something, I would have that every couple of weekends, and I would always get pimples by Monday. Next up, number 8, cheese quesadillas. Again, another one that's pretty simple. You probably already know what I'm saying, why it caused acne, but cheese quesadillas would cause me acne. I would always do these big burrito tortillas with a ton of cheese and some refried beans, and another big burrito tortilla with some green enchilada sauce in there. Whew, so fire, but caused me acne, so I cut them out. Now, number 9, taking a little bit of a left turn here, a little different than the other stuff, but vodka and beer. So I'm not a big alcohol person, and I wasn't really a big alcohol person back then, but every once in a while, I'd go with my friends, we'd party or whatever, and I'd drink beer only if we were doing like beer pong. Otherwise, I would do just vodka. It would always cause me what I call alcohol pimples. I've done videos on this before, but alcohol pimples for me are different than regular pimples. They're very pinprick, small, but they're like a lot of them, very red, sometimes with whiteheads, but sometimes without. But it would just be like 5 or 6 would pop up overnight. And I would always wake up the next day after drinking so oily. Even if I didn't eat bad food, even if I was well hydrated, whatever, always wake up super oily. I don't know if you've noticed this, but if you have, let me know in the comments below, because alcohol pimples, it should be like a medical thing. Alcohol pimples are real. Okay, last but not least, my favorite dessert of all time, cheesecake. Oh, do you guys agree with me? Is cheesecake the best? Or at least top 3. Can you give it top 3? It's my absolute favorite of all time. And this one, very obviously, right? You're having basically 2 buckets of cream cheese to make cheesecake. So that's a ton of dairy, also a ton of sugar, ton of fat. So now I make them plant-based, so there's no dairy, but still there's fats and sugars. And so I do this on occasion. But even when I'm having things, like this that have tons of fat and sugar, I am aware that it's going to cause me acne. And that's the difference from when I was eating all these foods. I didn't really know what was going on, and I would just think like, man, it's kind of random, and I never really pinpoint what was causing me acne. But there are so many factors in the universe, not only food, but like I was saying, lifestyle things like stress and sleep, all sorts of different stuff that contribute to your acne. And so if you never really note and you never really write down what it is that does cause you acne that you've noticed, you're really just kind of shooting in the dark, and you never really know what it is. And you might just think like, oh, it's like fluctuating up and down right now. But it's really helpful to really keep a good note of what does and doesn't cause you acne, and what even improves your acne. That way you can go to that list and see what you've been violating or what you haven't been doing, and it'll help a lot. So there you go. That's my top 10. I thought this would be cool because, one, it's just fun to see, as you analyze what your diet was like, but also maybe some of these things you have very often, and maybe some of these things you're going to look at and say, does that cause me acne? Maybe I'll take it out for a couple weeks, see if it gets better. Or maybe next time I have one of those things, I'll note if I have acne that increases in the next couple days. It can be very helpful, but I just also thought this would be really fun. I know a few times throughout this video I mentioned that there's a ton of factors when it comes to acne, and I know it's sometimes overwhelming. Back when I was trying to figure my acne out, I did not know what to do, and I would just get tired of trying to experiment so many different things and really not knowing where I was going, feeling like my wheels were spinning. So that's what I made my new acne program about, the Acne Method. It helps anybody and everybody who has acne should go get this. It's basically all of my experience, and then I went through and just read all the science that's out there, all the studies that is out there for acne, and compacted it into 10 steps that make it easy easy for anybody to identify their personal acne triggers so that you can have a personalized list, a personalized idea of what you can do each week to have your acne improve. And when your acne gets worse, you can look at that and say, that's what I'm not doing right now. That's what I need to change. And it really gives you the control of your skin back and takes it away from the big CEOs of all the acne companies who you're buying creams from and stuff, because sure, there's acne products that do help, right? But it's not the only thing, and that's what big acne companies want you to think, that you have to buy their expensive product over and over and over and over and over to even have a hope of improving your skin. This changes everything. It's only 10 bucks, 10 steps, 10 weeks. I wanted to make it affordable for everybody. So check it out. It's theacnemethod.com. It'll be in the link in the description below. Go get it. All right, I love you guys so much. I really enjoy making these videos. I love having the acne community. Such a good, positive world that we have created here, and I'm stoked about it. If you enjoyed the video, give it a big old thumbs up. Let me know what you thought in the comments below, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Remember, you are not alone. You are beautiful, and you're part of Team Acne. I'll see you skin bosses in the next video.